beautiful people of the interwebs! My name is Risha, and I would like to welcome you to my Dragon Age Let's Play. Welcome to my Dragon Age Let's Play. I could have probably done that better. Okay, so, few things that you need to know before I get started. A few caveats, little full disclosure, or whatever you want to call it. I have played Dragon Age Origins before, only Dragon Age Origins, but I've only ever played it on the Xbox with a controller. And though I've made several characters and seen several of the origin stories, the furthest any character has ever gotten is about 65 to 75% of the way through the main story, with a lot of side quests still left undone. In addition to that, I have not played all of the origin stories, and this is going to be one that I haven't played yet before, so the opening is blind to me, and then bits of the middle of the game I will have played before, and the ending is also blind. And I'm calling it a Dragon Age Let's Play instead of a Dragon Age Origins Let's Play because my intention is to play through all three games eventually. I do know Dragon Age Inquisition is coming out in like a month or less. I'll never get to it when it's new. That's not enough time, which works well for me because I prefer to wait till patches come out anyway. And I am playing with mods. I've already installed quite a few mods to start with. I'm just gonna try to run through them quickly, and I'll also put them in the description of the video. Every mod I'm using in each video will always be in the description of the video. And if I notice something is from a particular mod, I might point it out during the Let's Play. I'm using Extra Dog Slot by Dheuster, and that is so that once you have your dog, if you get the dog, your dog can come with you, and you can still choose 3 other party members. So your dog is like your 5th party member who's always there. The Phoenix Armory by Xelte, which is a female rogue armor set that I suspect I will end up missing where it is and not actually getting it, but I'll try to remember to get it. Hairstyle Day by various Sims 2 authors. Bidelle's Cosmetics by Bidelle. I put in a lot of stuff for more options for character creation, and then we'll probably not like most of them, but I put them in anyway. Improved Atmosphere by SpaceAlex. This one is huge, and I tried really hard to install it correctly. I hope I got it right. If you know this mod and you can see that something's not right, let me know. I might have got something wrong, but I know at least some of it's installed correctly because I tested it and bodies weren't disappearing, and that's one of the things that it does. Mad Gift Guide by Mad Bomber 83. This one will put the name of the companion that is supposed to get particular gifts you pick up. This mod will spoil the secret companion's name. So if you don't know who the secret companion is, I recommend that you stop watching this Let's Play and you go play Dragon Age Origins until you figure out who it is, and then you come back so as to not be spoiled. More Hairstyles by Kzelsama, just more character creation stuff. Morrigan Restoration Patch by Terra X. It's well known that a lot of Morrigan's dialogue is kind of broken, repetitive, you can't get into certain parts of it. Some of it's been restored, and some of it's been fixed. Pineappletree's Vibrant Colors by Pineappletree, more character creation stuff. Theta HD by Rennn with 3 N's, and that's just to fix some of the weird low-res stuff that's like right alongside medium res, so it kind of looks out of place, but without taking too much performance hit. White Teeth by Jog, because I'm a shallow person and the teeth bother me in the game. Yes, I know it might be realistic, medieval, whatever, they don't brush their teeth, but you know what? They also don't drink Coca-Cola. I don't understand why they would all have such terrible teeth, so just don't judge me. White Teeth. Flash's Creature Rescale by Flash, which is kind of what it sounds like. Some of the creatures don't seem scaled correctly, where like certain nobles would be as strong as a dragon. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, so that's been kind of fixed. And all of this, or most of this, is being kept track of by the DAO-Modmanager, also known as DAMM, D-A-M-M, by Altorian, which has been really useful for the DAO zips. Other thing that you need to know before we get started, I have never in my life, ever, played this kind of game, an RPG, without an Xbox controller. But this game is not really set up for that. So I'm going to be trying to play it with a mouse and keyboard. And I want to apologize ahead of time because this is going to be terrible for everyone, including me, Probably worse for me, but very frustrating for you. I did go in and try to use it a little bit to get just a general idea. I'm really bad with movement. I'm going to try to get better as it goes forward, but if that kind of thing is going to annoy you, you might want to skip to like video 105. And yeah, there probably will be like 105 videos or more. So hopefully by then I will have either got better at it or broken down and installed something like Xpatter and just rebound all the keys to a controller myself. But I haven't got quite that desperate yet. We'll see how it goes. So, let us start a new game, which is how this starts. Oh yeah, and this is the Ultimate Edition. All the DLC are installed. I've only ever played a couple of them on the Xbox. I've never played Awakening or like Liliana's Song. Liliana? Been so long since I played, not sure if I have that name right. Anyway, here we go. And so is the Golden City blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the worlds. Canticle of Threnodies, 813.
The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it.
What a bunch of assholes.
They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation.
That guy should probably go to the infirmary.
Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness.
All 5 of them!
And prevailed.
There's 7 now. Yikes.
It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long.
Fewer than 7? That'll do it.
It may even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Ooh, I haven't watched that in like a year. It's dramatic. It's really good. Okay, character generation. This will probably be the next hour of this Let's Play. I might probably cut some of it out, but I don't want to cut all of it out because I have installed so many mods that add new stuff to character generation that I'd like to at least be able to show it off, since this is the only time I will be able to do so. Now, I happen to be a female, so I am also going to play a female. And like I said, I'm going to play an origin story that I am completely blind on. I have no idea what happens. I've never played it before. And that is going to be the Dwarven Rogue Noble. Never seen it. Wow, that is, how do I, there we go. That's some nice armor you got there, lady. Alright, here we go.
Greetings.
Hello. Right, I'm gonna break with tradition, and by tradition I mean I did it once, because I have like one other RPG Let's Play of Skyrim, and I named my character after myself, named my character Risha. And I thought that was a great idea, because Gix does it, and he doesn't seem to have any problems. I find it really confusing to have my character named after me. When I'm talking about my character, I feel like it can easily be misconstrued that I'm talking about myself in the third person, like a total douche. And I get confused also in comments as well. So I'm actually not going to name this character Risha. I researched as much Dwarven Dragon Age stuff as I possibly could. There's not a whole lot of stuff out there about their language, and the names are just the ones that sort of exist in the game. So I actually decided on a name that is a Dragon Age dwarf word, which is Viata. If I could just type in there, Viata. There we go. Now, I'm using it Viata as a name, but I think the Dwarven language is actually pronounced more like Vieta or something like that, and it actually means stop. So she was a precocious child. And I imagine that she was asked to stop a lot, and so her name is Viata. I have roleplay like character stuff in my head, but because I don't really know what the origin story is going to be like, it could be that everything in my head is not going to be able to apply. But I'll tell you what it is anyway, and then we'll just have to correct it as we get to the story if it's clear that it's not going to work. Viata is a rogue not because like she wanted to be a rogue, but because she has a little, we'll call it a personality quirk of, she likes to steal things. She likes to shoplift. She likes to nick, you know, makes her feel good. A little bit of a stealing problem, maybe a mild kleptomaniac, and in being able to nick things and not get caught, because you know, being a noble, you don't want your family to be like, oh my god, I can't believe you're bringing shame on your noble family. You know, she's learned to kind of sneak around, hide in the shadows, pick locks, notice booby traps and stuff like that. And that's sort of how she ended up being a rogue, not because she's sort of honed her craft at wanting to be able to be that kind of fighter, just because she likes to steal things. And so do I just press next here, or do I? Okay, it's a little different. On the Xbox, you have, if I recall correctly, you have to name your character before you create them, and then you can't go back. Is that right? It feels right. I could be lying. I think there are some new presets added with some of these mods. But I won't really know which ones they are. Is that a new preset? I'm asking because the bangs look better than they usually look. Hey, she kind of looks like me! Maybe I'll start with her. Look at that! Ha! Ha ha! Wow. I had no idea I looked that much a dwarf. She looks like an Altmer. Interesting. Okay. Aw! Isn't she cute? Look at those eyes. Speaking of which, okay, and then we're just gonna stick with this face, and the eyes are just gonna keep changing. I don't know which one does that. There's something, I think... So I'm not sure if these eye colors are going to actually be options in the eyes, or if you have to choose them in the preset first. which is really not going to work for me because I choose the eyes basically last once I've made the rest of the face. Also purple. Oh, so horrifying. God, this like looks like Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. So yes, lots of awesome eyes, but I don't really know if I want to start with this preset. Do I? I could. Let me get back to the other one. Maybe I will. Those are nice. Shit, they do look a little bloodshot though. Don't our eyes look bloodshot? Are they supposed to? Those are some crazy eyes, man. Just gonna see if those eye options are in here. These are from another mod. I don't think that the eye options that are in the presets actually exist as later options, which is really a shame. That makes it very difficult for me. It's hard for me to decide on eyes first. And I just have to decide if I like one of those presets better than any of these options. I just don't think that's going to be something I can do. Alright, so I just picked some eyes that I do like from the preset, but something tells me that after I create the rest of her face and everything, I'm just going to end up going through all the eye options, and I won't be able to use a preset eye for that reason. I don't know why you would put such eye colors in the preset, unless you had to change so much that it doesn't really work just to put it in the eyes, but I'm kind of disappointed about that, and unfortunately, I don't even know which mod it's from because I installed so many. Maybe it's from Bidelle's Cosmetics. I'm not really sure. See, this is what happens when you install a lot of mods. It's just like, I don't know what that's from. And I think these I think these complexions are from Bidelle's Cosmetics. Because they're really not complexions, they're just like whole face makeup. Yeah! Okay. It's like we're gonna fall over dead any moment. So there's your young starting one. Alright, we've been through those. Yikes! Alrighty. Yeah. See, I love that, but, like, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit the character or the story at all. Is there anybody who does this to their eyebrows in real life? It's a bit odd. I would like to apologize to any Japanese viewers. That is racist. Whoa, okay. Hey, I saw that movie in 3D. Alright. Well, I do sort of like this to start, just because as a rogue, I think being able to blend into the shadows, it would kind of make sense to wear, you know, darkness around your eyes. You know, robbers wear the little mask. I don't think any robbers actually do that in real life, but they should. They totally should. If I worked in a bank and I was being robbed by a guy who had one of those little like black Riddler masks, I would be thrilled. Just be like, this is the best. So many skin color. This looks so mottled. I don't understand this. And the thing is, too, I'm not entirely sure how this would look in-game, because it doesn't matter how perfect you make your character and the character, and this is like for any game, right? If you make your character perfect in character creation, then you see them in-game, the lighting is completely different. It's like the coloring is completely different, and you're just like, why did I spend so much time making that character? That is not what I was intending. Yikes! Well, I guess, I was gonna say go out into the sun, but I guess that makes sense. They live underground, right? Pale. Very pale. You're just gonna have, like, the palest version of your natural skin color. See, this is so mottled. It just looks like... It just looks like paint instead of an actual skin tone. Jeez. I think it's a sudden change. Makes me go, my god, Caspa, you blinded me. Okay, well, now we're purple. And now we're blue. That's not really what I'm going for. The whitest white that ever whited. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go a little darker than I suspect she would be, just from living underground and being so pale, because just from past experience, I feel like when I go into the game, she's going to look even paler than she looks right now. So I'm going to stay here. Alright, so this is blush on top of the blush that's part of the skin complexion. That sort of actually whites it out a little bit. Again with the blue. I kind of like the one that actually whited it out a little bit. Actually reduces, essentially, the blush from the skin complexion. I'm not a blush person. Not a fan. And then, of course, if I turn it down, yeah. Let's do that. Oh, okay. Oh, that's intensity, that's why. Duh. Okay, I don't... Oops. I realize that going with something like this is going along with my whole hiding the shadows thing, but I'm not looking to make a goth character. Not that there's anything wrong with being goth. I experimented with it myself in my younger days, but I don't think she's a goth person. Again with the blue. Okay. That's alright. I'm putting makeup on her. I haven't even made her face yet. This is a really, really stupid thing to do. I don't know why I'm doing this. No tattoo, because that's like a commoner thing. Should probably be working on other stuff than makeup, right? That's how makeup works, right? You have to have a face first, and then decide how to apply your makeup. I don't really know anything about makeup, but I imagine that you can't just apply it indiscriminately across any kind of face, so... Hey. Hair is also very important to me in my characters. And I do know that Hairstyle Day, which is the Sims 2 one, it has a lot of sort of prom-like hair designs, which are very much not what I'm looking for at all, but a couple of them were actually really interesting that didn't look like you were going to prom. So, like, this one is very sort of, we're going to a dance. And it is kind of very noble looking, but I imagine that she's not going to spend the whole game being a noble, so I don't really want her to have that kind of hairstyle to start with. What is going on here? That's... alright. I can't even see her face. There's so much hair. Yeah, no. Uh-huh, no. No. It's not glamour day here. What is happening here? No. Like this one. This one was actually the one I saw that mainly made me go, oh wow, I have to get that, even though I don't like a lot of the hairstyles in it. I don't know if I'm gonna give her this one. Depends on what I do with the rest of her face, but I do really like that. It's sort of, it's rebellious, and cool. And it just sort of looks like you could style it this way without styling products. Like you could just like lick your hand, just put spit in your hair, and then just wait for a strong wind and just turn your head. You know? Go to the right tunnel underground. No. 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 Eh. Nope. Now that is something that I could see you definitely being able to do. Just hurry up and tie your hair up in a bun. Get it mostly out of your face. Sticking out all over the place. I used to do that a lot when I had long hair. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Oh! Ooh. It's like the Chloe Sullivan. I kind of like that. It looks precocious, right? I'm gonna look at the rest of them though, but I do kind of like that one. Ugh, no. I don't want high, ridiculous ponytails. Sort of no-nonsense kind of look. What is even happening here? Really? Please don't do this with your hair. Horrible. No! No! No. No. Oops, sorry. Ah, what did I do? Just keeps disappearing on me. That's another kind of messy, precocious kind of style. A little bit too much face coverage, though. Aw. Well, aren't you special? There we go again, I like that. But too much face coverage. It's not bad. Not sure what that is. Some sort of braid, I guess. No. Very floofy. Okay. This is some very nice work. I mean, even the styles that I'm going, nope, 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 nope. That's just because of what I want my character to do. It's not because that there's anything wrong with the style or choosing these styles. I think they're pretty well done. Wow, that's terrifying. Jesus, that's like a weapon. You should get like special weapon privileges with this hairstyle. You just whip your hair and that's a song, isn't it? It's not intentional. Alright, of course now I gotta find the one that I liked. Just way back when.